everyone! So, welcome to another week of my character discussion videos. So, the semester is wrapping up, so these may or may not continue depending on the summer. I might keep doing them just for funsies, because I enjoy doing them, and I also kind of want to work my way through the original team. But today, let's not think about that for too much. Today I will be talking about Wally West, aka Kid Flash, because his Zeta Tube designation is B03. And yes, it kind of pains me a great deal to be talking about Wally because there's still so many Wally-related feels that are continuously, rolling around in my body and just rolling around and, spilling forth from my body because I have too many feels and can't contain them. But he's the third person on the Zeta Tube designation for the team, and so I have to talk about him. And it's not like I don't like talking about Wally, it's just everything I feel like I say now is, saddened by the knowledge that he has, quote, seized, which, it's just, no, and it's so sad looking at, this is, the people who started the team, and then you see them in the season finale, and one of them has seized, one of them is retiring, and then all that you have left is Aqualad. Oh, okay. Anyways, okay, to get my feelings under control and to actually start talking about Wally. So, in general, Wally West, he's Kid Flash in Young Justice, but in the DC canon, he's first Kid Flash, and then he becomes the third Flash when his uncle, Barry Allen, who's second Flash, dies, and he has to take up the mantle as the Flash. And so, basically, there's, a whole line of Flashes, and they all got their powers from, what happened is the first Flash, Jay, who I cannot remember his last name. Oh, that's bad. Anyways, but, he got his powers, I think, from, a freak accident, kind of like a Static Shock-esque, TV show-esque kind of moment, where, there was a freak accident and, a chemical explosion, and he got super speed powers. And then Barry Allen, who is a professional chemist-scientist, recreated these experimental conditions in his lab and became the second Flash, and his powers were a lot stronger because his was, a controlled experiment. And then Kid Flash, Wally, basically found his uncle's, notes on this experiment and recreated them because he's just that awesome. And he just wanted to be a hero. He wanted to be because the Flash was his idol before he knew the Flash was his uncle. And so he wanted to be like the Flash. And then he blew himself up, essentially, and became Kid Flash. So, I don't know. That backstory is very endearing to me in general because it's just, every single other person, this is actually on my notes under why I love Wally more than his background, but, it fits here, so I'm going to talk about it right here. But, every other character has, a horrible, tragic backstory that makes them makes them compelled to be heroes. You have Batman, the quintessential, my parents are dead, and then, Dick, who's essentially the same, though he's slightly less depressing than Batman is. And you have, Miss Martian, who was persecuted as a white Martian, Superboy, who's got his whole, clone backstory. Well, Aqualad doesn't really have a horrible backstory, but he does, have a lot of angst associated with his, being a hero or not, with his Aquagirl and, stuff like that, and then, who else? Zatanna's father is Dr. Fate, and there's all these other things, but Wally just wanted to be a hero, and so he just goes and blows himself up and becomes a hero, and that's just, really, really endearing to me, because, yeah, okay, blowing yourself up maybe wasn't the smartest idea, considering he's, such a smart character. That was not the smartest thing to do, but, I don't know, it's still, it's an endearing quality to have someone who just really, really wants to be good that much. He's just so, the Flashes in general kind of like that. They just so want to be good, and it's so nice to see that in, a world of, angsting, brooding superheroes and stuff like that, who are kind of anti-hero-esque, and these guys are just straight-up hero. Which, the straight-up hero is less and less popular now, because it's less interesting. Everyone wants to hear about, Tony Stark-esque, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist anti-heroes and stuff like that. But I enjoy, the Flash. The Flashes. They're just, a breath of fresh air. And actually, to be honest, I don't like Tony Stark that much. Yeah, I know, I just lost all the viewers I had. But anyways. So, other than that, he's, in the comics, oh god, this was, a whole, 2-minute, tangent about how much I love that he's a hero, but anyways, so in the comics, Wally has, an abusive father, and that's kind of, a big thing, and that, I don't know, maybe, I don't really know how much of that there is going on in the comics, but I've, heard a lot about it, because I'm not actually that familiar with his comics, but, he has apparently, not the best family background, so I guess his life is not all sunshine and rainbows, but in Young Justice, this is very much not the case. And I actually really like it this way, because I feel like it would be unnecessary for him to be, like, have a bad family, like, background. Like, because I feel like you already have the characters who have the bad family background, so that's already, like, an established arc with, like, Artemis and stuff like that, so that would be kind of redundant. And also, at the same time, it's nice to, because, like, it feeds, like, that way nothing detracts from his, like, genuinely just wants to be your hero because he's a hero. And so, like, I don't know, his arc is pretty interesting in general. Like, he kind of starts out as that, like, aggressive, dorky flirt guy who's very, like, trying to cover up his insecurities, and then he goes into, like, he matures a lot, but then he becomes kind of angsty as a result, and everyone's just kind of like, why is Wally so sad all the time? Though, I mean, he has very good reason to be sad during season 2, because, like, a lot of bad shit is going on, and so that's, like, very understandable, but at the same time, like, kind of, like, sad? I don't know, like, the Wally of season 1 is very endearing. Like, as much as he's, like, annoying in certain regards, he is very endearing. Like, yeah, he flirts with Megan, like, all the freaking time, and it's like, she has a boyfriend, she's not interested, Wally, please calm down, like, I don't know, I was never nearly as annoyed with him as some people were. Some people, like, couldn't stand it. They were very, like, up in arms feminist about it. Like, they were like, Wally, you need to stop nice guying and stop pushing yourself on Megan, and I don't know, I didn't see it that way. I mean, like, it was definitely, like, kind of awkward, and I was like, Wally, you need to, like, calm down a little bit. But, like, I was never very pissed off at him. I think I was too overall endeared to him, which, I mean, I'm sure, like, everyone's like, oh my god, you're setting the feminist cause back, like, 100 years. But, like, I don't know, like, because we see so much of his, like, insecurity about stuff that, like, I don't really, like, I can't really blame him. Like, yeah, it wasn't, like, the nicest thing to do, especially when, like, it was, like, obviously they're dating now. Like, obviously she's taken. It was still, like, I don't know, I just was not as annoyed as I could have been. And then, like, I don't know, he's, like, just in general, like, the reason why I like Wally is just, like, he's, like, a very, like, snarky, sassy dork type that I just really enjoy that, like, archetype. Like, I really, like, enjoy those kind of people who are, like, kind of, like, her, but also, like, really, really smart, and, like, yeah, they make fun of Wally, and at one point in season 1, Dick is like, well, if we need a really, really stupid idea, and he looks at Wally, but, like, he's actually, like, really, really a genius child, and, like, that was also the same episode where like, Wally talks about, like, triangulating a volcano to blow it up, which is also probably science, like, comic book science and complete mumbo-jumbo, but the idea is that he is a very smart person, and I, like, he's really, like, they're all genius children, but, like, he's genius child in a way that's very different from, like, Dick's genius child. Dick is very, like, oh, you know, like, kind of, like, straight-laced genius child, whereas, like, Wally's kind of, like, derp genius child. Or, I mean, like, obviously Dick is not straight-laced either, but, like, it's just, he's a very, like, he's, like, the ninja genius child, and Wally's, like, the dork genius child, if that, like, even makes any sense. That's, like, the most, like, unscientific, unacademic distinction ever, but whatever, it's my distinction, and it will stand as it is. And speaking of, like, him and Dick, like, their bromance is really, really great. Like, it's so sad. Like, I mean, yeah, like, everyone was really upset about, like, him and Artemis being split up, but then it was, like, him and Dick's, like, complete falling out, and especially when they were so, like, clearly, like, this since, like, before the first episode. It's, like, very well established from the pilot episode of season 1 that they've been friends for forever, and, like, just seeing that disintegrate over season 2, like, was really, really, like, heartbreaking, like, beyond belief. I don't even know how, like, I dealt with it. It was just, oh my god, but, like, it's just really nice. Like, bromance is huge now, and everyone loves bromance, and, like, but their bromance was just very, very, like, it was, like, great, because it was, like, clearly how much they understood each other, but also, like, could, like, be weird dorks, dweebs together, and, like, just be like, ha ha ha, together, kind of like SpongeBob-y, but, like, I don't know, it was just so well done. And then, like, you have Failsafe, which I literally have brought this episode up in every single one of these videos, but you have Failsafe, where they just kind of, like, when they're in the ship together, and the bomb is counting down, and they only have, like, what, 30 seconds left, and they look at each other, and they just, like, run towards the center, and they're just, like, and you're just, like, oh my god, my poor babies, like, I just have so many feelings. But I don't know, like, I just feel like Wally is very endearing because he's very human. Like, he's got a whole ton of, like, awesome traits, but he's also got a whole ton of failings at the same time. Like, he's so smart, but he's, like, really, really stubborn and fixed on his beliefs. Like, you have the whole episode, like, the first Wally-centered episode, where it's the whole Dr. Fate episode, where he's just like, magic's not real, this is, like, a pocket dimension, blah, 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 and he and Artemis get into a bunch of fights. And then, like, you have, like, he's very fixed in his belief, and he's also highly insecure, and so he kind of, like, acts like a kind of a smart-ass, slight douchebag to, like, cover up for that, and just, it just really, like, all of his, like, weird annoyances, like, they make sense. They make so much human sense, like, as a character. And I don't know, that's kind of part of why I like him so much. And I feel like you see these people around in real life, and maybe they're, like, secret Wallies, but, like, all you see is, like, the douchebag smartass. But, like, when you see them on TV, you get to see, like, the full roundness of their character, and that's very, very, like, it's very cool to be able to see that when you can't really see that in real life. And so, like, also, like, oh my gosh, yay, I, like, filled up this video with not talking about his relationship with Artemis, so I'm only going to, like, plug it very briefly here, but, like, I mean, I'm also partly endeared to Wally because he is the one half of my OTP, and, like, his relationship with Artemis is, like, one of my favorite things about the show, but I mean, like, I have many, many favorite things about the show, so that's not actually saying that much. But, like, the arc of their relationship is one of my favorite kinds of, like, relationship arcs in general. Like, belligerent sexual tension develops into relationship. I love that. Like, I will eat it up like pudding, like, every day. And so that part is just great to me. And it's also great because they grow together so much, and they, like, become better people. Like, they help each other out, and it's just, oh, just why he can't really be dead. Greg and Brandon, well, they can't really be dead, or seized, or whatever the heck he is. Like, please, no, because if there was, like, a season 3 in the books, which I'm sure they had, like, planned for it, just in case, he better not be dead. Like, I think I will actually cry legitimate tears. I mean, I already did cry legitimate tears. I will cry more legitimate tears if he's really dead. I just can't. And so, next week, the last weekend of the semester, I'll probably just keep doing these videos like they're gonna keep going, because I think I'm gonna, like, keep doing these over the summer just because they're fun. Like, probably lose all the viewership that I had to begin with because I said I hated Tony Stark, but I mean, I enjoy doing these, so, like, even if no one's watching, I enjoy doing these. So see you out there. See you next week if you didn't already hate me and unsubscribe because I said I hated Tony Stark.